All right, everybody. We back. We got another Culture Shakers Better podcast. I believe this is gonna be episode 14 right here. So we're gonna start doing a little something different. We're gonna start coming on here early mornings, late afternoons, maybe. Start doing a little early morning run. We're gonna run through the games that went on the night before, and if any games on at the moment. So today we are going to be covering some different things. We're going to be doing some NBA and some NFL. I'm here with my brother E right now. Supposed to have a few more people here, but it's me and my boy right now, man. So we finna run this stuff down. How you feeling, man?
Oh man, feeling great. Got a good old Sunday afternoon of NFL football. We about to get into it all.
Yeah, man. Right on time. The Bears are just giving up the lead, man. You gotta love that. You have to love that. But we're gonna start off first with some NBA, man. Some that I couldn't wait to come on here and talk about. Some say this is the only reason we were recording today. And that may be true. But as we all know, LeBron James and the Lakers have won the first in-season championship. LeBron played very well, won MVP of the tournament. Shout out to the Pacers as well. Definitely was a good game, close game. I actually was a little scared throughout the game. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton had a hell of a tournament. Miles Turner also had a hell of a tournament. And they team overall, I like the way they play. I feel like the Lakers just had a little more maturity than them last night. I feel like when Halliburton wasn't in the game, they was taking some ill-advised shots. So I kind of think that's what threw the tide in the Lakers' way. But I got a couple questions about this game. I want to know, what do this mean for Bron's legacy and moving forward for the Lakers or the other teams in the NBA? What are these results like? Is it gonna give anybody any chips on their shoulders? Propel some different teams to lock in earlier this year. Uh,
Man, like you say, for LeBron's legacy, it's less about winning and more about how he looked as they went through their in-season tournament run. I
mm,
mean, guy's gonna be 39 in a few weeks here, and he's locked in, man. We talk about that semifinal game, the
yeah,
quickest to 30 in Lakers franchise history.
yeah, that's
He talk
great.
about Cleveland Cavaliers franchise history. He said Los Angeles Lakers franchise history for a 38 near 39-year-old. So, it's less about, actually winning the in-season tournament, which, I mean, if we be honest, it doesn't do much for LeBron legacy. He's measured by championships won in June. But the way that he's looking, like he looks like he could do this for another half a decade if he
Mm,
chooses to. And if he continues to play at this level for another 2-3 years, man, now, I mean, he's just continuing to extend that debate on. I mean, you just have to honestly now, even for the guys that are going to die on Michael Jordan, you just honestly have to sit there and look at a guy that's going to do it for 25 or so years at an extremely high level from start to finish.
right.
So for his legacy, I think that the way that he is just continuing year in and year out to prepare himself to have himself ready to play NBA games, to endure the long haul of NBA seasons and compete for championships. He just continues to add on to a career that's been one on one. And for the Lakers moving forward, and going back to your point on the in-season tournament, kind of bringing a sense of urgency earlier in the season before we even get to Christmas, is that
Mm,
man, like the Lakers were obviously locked in on the in-season tournament run. We saw them being led by LeBron, and even AD saw himself being locked in and playing like he knew how to play basketball. Uh,
finally.
Man, we see it every now and then. But now you're gonna have a Lakers team that's gonna need to stay locked in, because now coming off the in-season tournament, it's not the same, but it's going to be similar. I feel like to a defending champion coming in the next year, where teams are coming in and they want to beat you, they want to prove something against you. So we see how the Lakers have played the last few weeks. Now teams that have the Lakers on the schedule are going to want to test their metal against them. So now we'll see. Kind of, I think the challenge is coming right to LeBron's door, right to the Lakers' door in these next few weeks moving forward. And I just think that we'll get a lot. of a better brand of basketball earlier in the season than we have lately.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that last point you just made. They definitely been turned, man. Somebody said Braun was out there playing like his kids wasn't gonna eat if they didn't win, bro. And he was locked in, like that was a little playoff intensity going on. I feel like for Braun legacy, a lot of people always do the Braun versus Mike. I feel like it's not gonna do that much for him in that aspect, but just overall the in season tournament, I feel like that's gonna be a big thing down the road. I feel like 10 years from now, they're gonna be saying this player got 4 MVPs, this many All Stars, and he got 2 tournament MVPs. Like it's gonna be an accolade for the younger players moving forward. So
Definitely.
for Braun to go ahead and win the first one, that's like, I mean, some people could say it's scripted, but that wasn't easy out there. He had to lock in. It ain't like he got this superior team. And the Pacers, a lot of people gonna overlook them, but they beat most people finals um, predictions for this year. That's the Celtics and the Bucks. Most people got them going all the way, and they beat both of them. So they proved some stuff themselves. Uh, so that's actually gonna move into the next topic. Um, we're gonna call this one "Earn Your Stripes." Now, I want to know the Timberwolves. They currently number one in the West. I believe the Thunder floating somewhere around 3 or 4, 5. They might be 2 again because they was 2 for a moment. And the Pacers and the Magic, they also floating around in the top of the East. And these are, you know, teams that was formerly in the play in. I feel like myself that all 4 of these teams gonna make the playoffs without the play in this year. I just want to know, how does that sound? Do you feel like that's possible? Do you feel like one of these teams gonna slow down during the course of the season, or are they gonna stay locked in? Um,
As far as these teams that we got in the West, the Timberwolves and the Thunder, I definitely see them get into the playoffs without having to play in the play-in. We're going to see how Anthony Edwards manages his hip injury. Obviously, re-aggravated. Tried to play yesterday, re-aggravated, and only played 4 minutes over this weekend. But the Timberwolves, now that Ant has kind of grown into his own and it's clearly his team with Cat as the number two. I've been saying that now for a couple of months, is that I think that really unlocks the team. Obviously, then with a Mike Conley kind of running the show in the latter stages of his career. And I mean, this OKC team, Shea just continues to get better and better, and just really just dominate night in and night out. Obviously we got the controversy around Giddy. We've seen kind of some of the pressures around that kind of impacting his play. His numbers are by far worse than they've been at any other point in his career. So kind of seen him come along. But for both of these teams, they're loaded with young talent. It would have been great to see these two teams be able to compete a little bit more in that in season tournament, because although we know it's not going to count for rings as we know them, you still want to see these young guys who haven't played in too many meaningful games. We know the Timberwolves have been in the first round the last couple of years, but haven't made deep playoff runs. We want to see them test their metal. And that's the place where I think that in-season tournament is really going to allow young guys to kind of shine in the same way it allowed Tyrese Halliburton to do so in these last couple
mhm.
of weeks. As far as the Eastern Conference teams, the Magic, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I thought the Magic would be dangerous. I mentioned the Magic in Houston, but I said I still didn't know if they would be a play-in team. But man, I mean, they look good. Like, once again, that 1-2 punch of Paolo and Franz Wagner. They look like they're really building something down there in Orlando. The Pacers are the team that I want to see, can they continue to build on the success of their in-season tournament run. Obviously, we know their style of play lends itself to the regular season and them just getting up and down all game long.
Yeah,
Um, I will be interested to see how that translates once you get to playoff basketball when veterans are locked in. when some of these guys that kind of take their foot off the gas, that don't have anything to prove in a regular season, and it's all about the postseason for them. And when the game kind of slows down, then you got to get meaningful stops. So all four of these teams in a space where I think a lot of these kind of first ballot Hall of Famers, we're going to see their teams kind of meddling along during the regular season. I think they have a chance just with these young legs, with the chemistry they built over the years, with kind of keeping some of their cores together the last few years. I think that they can really make a push and be in that top six once playoff time comes around.
Yeah, I got Shea on my fantasy team, so that's great. I like the Shea play. He definitely go for 30 every night. So I feel like he might be a top five player in the league right now. The way we really looking at it, how the team is performing. He consistently, I'll be waiting on him to have that off night. But even if he have an off night, it's 25. Like
Yeah,
it's not. And then I think Chet. I think he gonna be the nice like second best player. Like I think he could be a number two to Shea being the best. They could be that unique situation where your point guard is actually your best player. Like because usually it's only what Steph, Isaiah Thomas. That's about it.
yeah,
Well, so Shea might be able to get into that class, which is actually crazy. Not an interesting team that I think. Obviously, the Timberwolves. I'm glad they're getting it together. I feel like they had this potential ever since they was able to get Rudy, but it take time to gel. And I
yeah,
feel like they got that going now. I'm happy for Ant. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. I definitely think they're gonna make it with ease. Now the team, I guess the Pacers and the Magic are the more iffy ones, but I mean I like the way they play, bro. They got solid rosters. They young, they playing defense. That's the most important thing. Like they play hard the whole game, so you can't just relax. Like, oh yeah, we up, we good. Like so, I think all four of these teams gonna make it. That's why I picked them. So we gonna keep track of that throughout the season. Next, I got Russ. I know Russ is all we all love Russ, man. But Russ is in a crazy situation right now, which could be actually kind of crazy good if they can figure out how to actually play together. But about a week or so ago, it might have been 2 weeks now. He went ahead and just said he had come off the bench, and James Harden has been getting more minutes. Russ has been playing, I guess, is it significantly less? I feel like he was
yes,
playing
yes,
like
it is.
30 something at first. He playing like 20 minutes now.
Yeah,
But I'm not gonna say they winning more because what they 11-10, so they're not winning more. But they did get some wins though. I feel like Russ still playing if more efficient than he was with the Lakers. So I feel like he deserved more minutes. I don't know what you think on the Russ situation. I know they want to run things through Harden. Not sure how smart that is either when you got Kawhi. So is Tyloo tweaking or what's going on with that?
man, I feel bad for my guy Russ. As you said, this is the best brand of basketball we've seen him play since the trade originally to the Lakers. We know how that was a debacle, and but now he was able to get free at the end of last season, play well with the Clippers, really be the guy that was carrying them once Kawhi went down early on in that first round matchup against the Suns last year, and it was playing well this year. The entire team was playing well this year until the James Harden trade. And then we kind of saw, we obviously all heard PJ Tucker say there's not enough basketballs in the world for this team, not
Yeah.
enough on the planet for this team. And that's coming from one of your own players. So that says enough in itself. But I feel bad for Russ, man. The Clippers have obviously, since he's gone to the bench, it was the right basketball move because James Harden is a better facilitator than Russell Westbrook is. But just the way that James Harden, I'm a James Harden fan. I've been a James Harden fan since he was a six man at OKC. So obviously through his MVP and scoring leading seasons in Houston. But just the way he's conducted himself and just wanting to bounce from team to team, and then just flaming out so quickly and wanting to leave and go somewhere else, and just really getting catered to at every stop of the way. I just don't like the way that he's handled his situations and the way that he kind of got out of Philly and made his way over to the Clippers. Um, but as far as basketball sense, it makes the most sense. But I feel bad for Russ and his minutes declining. We've obviously seen Kawhi play a little bit better these last couple of weeks, kind of figuring out his spots. He just had 41 not too long ago. They were just able to take down. We know they lost earlier to Denver without their three best players on the floor,
Yeah.
but they were just able to go back and beat Denver at home with them having all of those guys. So I think the team is playing better. Obviously, it'll all come down to how they're playing once we get to April, May, and June, if they're fortunate enough to get that far. But like I say, I'm a Kawhi guy. I like the Clippers. I would love to see it all gel, but in order for that to happen, Russ gonna have to continue to take a back seat to James Harden, and just at this point of their careers, I feel poorly for Russ that's the stage that it's at.
But let me ask you this: so if they make the finals, or possibly win, is that gonna be what is it gonna be for us?
I mean, it's going to be a ring, but I mean, uh, his role won't give him the credence to that ring that I think a lot of other stops in his career would have gave him.
Yeah,
Because you're still gonna have that three-headed. He's the fourth guy. You still got that three-headed monster of Kawhi, PG, and James Harden, and so he'll kind of be that fourth man on that team. Even if he had a 1-1 with the Lakers, I think it would have meant more because he'd have been the third guy.
yeah. But look at it like this though. Suppose they make the playoffs, right? And he got moments though. Like he playing 22 minutes, but he
Yeah,
got
yeah,
fourth quarter moments. Like he make a difference. I feel like if he can have some moments, it won't mean as much as MVP Russ, of course, but if he can have some finals moments, like some stuff we gonna remember, like damn, remember when Russ, like I feel like that'll be satisfying for his fans and for him, and just for the
yeah.
game in general.
Hey, a championship for Russell Westbrook in any city, let alone his hometown, LA, for him, it's still gonna mean the world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I mean, can't say I'm exactly rooting for the Clippers, but that is the scariest team to me. I feel like a lot of people try to hate on them because they got a lot of stars and a lot of people be hating on James Harden, but I ain't lie. I'm not trying to play them in no playoff series. Like that's serious. Now if they gonna make the playoffs is the thing, but
Yeah.
once the playoffs
Isn't that
set,
crazy? You sit there and
what?
talk about you don't want to see them in the playoffs, but are they gonna make the playoffs?
Right, yeah, that is crazy. But if the playoffs set and I see Kawhi and James Harden and Paul George, and I got to play them 7 games, that ain't easy. Man. I'd rather not play them, to be
So what
honest.
you're telling me is they the Buffalo Bills of the NBA.
For right now, yes, that's
You really
crazy.
don't want to see them, but they kind of might be trash any given
Yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah, literally. All right, next we gonna move over to Chet and Wimby. So they both been having pretty good seasons. I think the odds had just changed about a week ago. They had Chet now is the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. I think Wimby currently averaging 2010. What he averaging like 2 blocks? Might be three. I don't know. He been and Chet is I think averaging like 18 and 8 or something like that. 18 and 9. So they both been hooping. I feel like Chet got a few more meaningful moments right now since his team is playing well. Hit that game winner versus the Warriors. I feel like the Spurs, they ain't got it right now. They need better players. They need like a real point guard. They need some better structure around them. And everybody keeps saying they need to fire Greg Popovich. That would be the stupidest thing they could do right now. So stop saying that. But I still like Wemby to win Rookie of the Year, but I don't know at this point though. At this point, I feel like I probably would have probably gonna be wrong because I feel like the Thunder usually Rookie of the Year not about winning,
Yeah,
but what rookies have we seen? Like they could be a top four seed in the West. I feel like they'd be top four seed, and he keep up the same numbers. I don't see how it don't go to Chet. What you thinking on that?
man. I think it's all going to depend on if the Spurs can even kind of get themselves to be a competitive team at any point of this season. Like you say, Rookie of the Year doesn't typically come down to winning, but I think if you got Chet, as a top four seed in the West, and then Wemby's team at 10 losses or worse, then I mean I think the decision's kind of made for you. Obviously, I think Wemby would be more deserving at the end of the season just because, like I say, it's a terrible roster and that whole team is on his back.
Right.
Whereas Chet's going out there every night to do battle with the top five guy in Shea, you know. So obviously his load is a lot easier to carry night after night for Chet, that is. And so just because of that dynamic, I think Wemby would be more deserving of it. But I think though it's not going to come down to Wemby making the playoffs or anything. I think they're going to have to get themselves at least to being a competitive NBA team for him to close it out against Chet if they do end up with similar numbers at the end of the year.
Yeah. Because I don't remember nobody ever averaging 20 and 10 coming into the NBA. Like Bron averaged 20 and 5 and 5. Like I don't remember no big coming in just 20 and 10 off back.
Braun also should have lost that Rookie of the Year to Carmelo, but that's for another day.
Or they should have shared it. I think somebody.
I take that. I take that.
I do think they should have shared it because Melo had a crazy year and they won. They was winning
And they
too.
got to the playoffs
Right. Exactly.
in the
All
West.
right. All right. All right. That's good NBA talk for today, man. We're gonna merge into some NFL. We're gonna start off with a little week 14 run through. We got the 1 o'clock games going right now. I think you got the scores pulled up. Can you give us a little score rundown? Let's see. We got Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
Right
What is
now we got coming up now. Right now we got Buccaneers up 12-10 with 11 minutes left to go in the third. Buccaneers with the ball right now. Obviously, that battle right now is for the top of the NFC South. As trash of a division it may be, somebody's got to win it and get a home playoff game.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's sweet. It ain't sweet because they fighting for it. They fighting for it, but that's crazy though. Because what the record's probably gonna be like somewhere towards 500, probably
Yes,
below
around
500,
about.
maybe.
And then I mean, we're gonna get the same thing that we got last year. Whether whoever ends up winning the NFC East, whether it's Dallas or the Eagles, and we'll talk about them in a bit. I know, but whoever doesn't win is gonna get that top wild card spot. So it's gonna be like last year when Dallas went down to Tampa and killed the Bucks
Yeah.
in that wild card round. That's all that's gonna happen.
Okay. All right. We're gonna see who's going. So it's 12-10 right now. I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay because I got Mike Evans on my fantasy team. Come on, pick it up, Mike. He ain't got that many catches right now.
Tampa Bay ought to win. I mean, with the veteran squad that they got, like
Yeah.
with still,
Defense.
several guys that have been that are Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
You would think that they would kind of take this personally and say, we're gonna go into these young guys' house and get them.
Yeah. All right. We got Bears and Lions. Is it
Bears
still
and Lions is tied 13-13 right now in the third.
Bears trying to play spoiler?
Yeah,
Good.
trying to spoil top five draft pick is what they're trying to spoil.
I got something that's really gonna make you mad though.
What's up?
Somebody just told me that if we win today, we have a chance to make the playoffs. What do you feel about that? Somebody just told me that. A Bears
Bro,
fan today.
listen, I told you in pre-production before we even came on, I was at the stage of the season where I was emotionally moving on to Caleb Williams. Okay, I made that emotional stance over the past couple of weeks, so I'm gonna be very mad. I love Justin Fields. I think he's gonna go somewhere else and be successful, but I
Atlanta.
don't need them even putting the doubt in my mind of, well, maybe we might need to keep Justin Fields. No,
Yeah,
we moving on. We getting Caleb, but that's enough. Get the
yeah.
best picks possible. I know they were eyeing I forget his name off the top of my head, but the edge rusher from down from Alabama. And
Mm,
I mean, man, if you can go get Caleb, go get you an edge guy to go along with Montez Sweat, go get you Jim Harbaugh after he win this national championship. Now we're talking about something, okay? This
yeah,
season's over. Lose football games. We won the only game that was important, and that was beating the Carolina Panthers. Everything else don't matter.
woo. Also, how do you like Justin Fields on the Falcons? I feel like if he get traded to Atlanta, that could be an explosive offense.
I know that's been talked about. I love it, man. I mean, you got Justin Fields, who's a dynamic runner and passer in his own right, in the backfield with Bijan Robinson, with Drake London out wide, with Kyle Pitts at your tight end if they ever learn how to use them. I
Yeah,
mean, man, like that's a dynamic offense waiting to be let loose. I would love to see him back down in Georgia, where he from, and be
right.
able to go down there and ball out.
Yeah. All right, moving along. We got the Colts playing my Bengals. What we looking like over there, man? We might
21-14 Bengals right now.
come on, man. Jake, Big Bank Jake. Come on, man.
Hey, I told you a little earlier, man. I obviously he balled out on
Look
Monday.
like he balling again.
He balled out on Monday against Jacksonville, and obviously I can't be sold after one game. But man, if he can take them on a little run, I mean, if they once again, it's an important game for them because the Colts are sitting at 7-5.
Right.
So they'll have the same record. They'll both be at 8-6 if the Bengals can pull this game out. And Cincinnati might be able to start clawing themselves back into that wild card picture.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, man. We still got a good team, man. If he can make a few throws here, a few throws there, we can let's upset. Let's play spoiler. We can do
Yeah, you might
that.
as well.
It's Joe, and also happy birthday to Joe Burrow, man.
All
It's
right,
Joe
it's today's
Burrow
birthday.
birthday. And my homie Carl birthday. Happy birthday, my homie Carl too. All right, man. No, I'm moving along too quick. I just disrespected a lot of teams. All right, we got the Jags and the Browns.
Jags, Browns,
Yeah,
sitting at 14-7. Browns up at halftime.
Browns up at halftime, 14-7. Okay. This is also an important game for the Browns.
Yep.
Not so important for the Jags, but really every game now is important for everybody. But for the Browns to keep trying to make, because where they sitting at right now, I think the Browns,
They sitting at 7-5, I believe.
yeah, so they really need this win to stay alive for the wild card as well.
Yeah, the Browns sitting at 7-5, but I'm gonna push back on you a little bit. The Jaguars sitting at 8-4. They lose and the Texans beat the Jets. They're tied.
Yeah, and then the Texans got the tiebreaker, right?
Well, it's split. I don't know how the numbers shake out
Oh,
right
they
now,
split because
but
they
they
beat them,
split
right?
their personal season
Okay.
series. But I'm not sure how the percentages work out. Who has the lead in that
I
case if
think
they
go
do end up
by
tied.
conference. Whoever got the better conference record, whoever got the better record in the conference, should get it then. All right. We got the Panthers and the Saints. Hopefully, the Panthers are losing, right?
You know it, 14-3 New Orleans. I turn into a Panthers hater every Sunday afternoon.
We could have predicted that one. They probably gonna lose the rest of their games. That's not a good team right now.
Oh
We
man, and a
have
brief before we even move on, man, a brief shout out to Mitch Trubisky, man, for letting the New England Patriots go on and get that win and creating some cushion in that number one pick discussion, making sure that the Patriots end up with 3 wins, and that's a 2-game lead for that number one pick. Shout out to Mitch. Never knew this would be the first time I root for you ever in my life.
that's crazy. You funny, man. You really want to? Why do you? Don't you think the Bears is gonna ruin Caleb Williams before we move on? Like,
Man, it's very possible. I mean, we love to ruin a good career, but
Right.
man, the reason is, man, I just feel like if we're gonna see what our GM is capable of doing. We're gonna see what Poles is able to do. But man, if he worth his money, if you got two top 10 picks, possibly two top 5 picks, if the Bears keep losing out, you can move coaches around, get a generational talent like Caleb Williams, and how his grades have come out to be since he's gone through high school and college. If you can mess this up, man, and don't rebuild a team in the next couple of years, and you're not worth the money.
Yeah, I guess so. We gonna see, man. Bears are so disappointing. That I feel like that's so something so big to happen for us, and we just gonna mess it up.
What he would the crazy part is, bro, Caleb Williams would step into Chicago, the best quarterback the franchise has ever had,
See,
before he even plays the game.
see, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's too much pressure for the Bears organization, bro. They don't even know how to treat a guy like that, man.
Nah, for real.
They if he decided to get the man, it just I'm making the decisions around here. They probably going, oh, all right, well, like, oh man, we need somebody that knows. We need Mike Tomlin or something, man. They need,
Oh man, come on, man. We need Jim Harbaugh. That's what we need. If we get Harbaugh, everything will be fine. Harbaugh
he
know how to
does,
win.
he does.
The last game that we didn't touch on is Rams Ravens right now, which I like the Ravens a lot, and right now they are losing 20-17 at home in the third quarter.
Yeah, the Rams offense been looking nice, but I feel like Lamar, this would be a good game for him to go ahead and clutch one up for everybody to calm down the haters for sure.
I was
And
sure
then
go do that.
Jets, and the Texans. I think that's the who winning that one right now.
Let's check it out. Yeah. Oh, wow. Upset alert. Jets up 14-0, third quarter.
Mm. Oh my God, I'm about to let Jimmy win in fantasy, bro. Let me check my
Just
fantasy, man.
wow. Oh man. Can I tell you how it gets worse right now? Zach
Yeah,
Wilson, 19 for 26, 216 yards and a touchdown.
damn.
CJ Stroud, 6 for 13, 28 yards.
I see. He got 1 point. I was supposed to win 60% chance of winning. Now I got a 50% chance. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't see this one coming, man. We talked about this earlier this morning. Didn't see
It's
this coming.
no, it's not early. It's the third quarter.
Nah, it's late in the third, too.
Oh Lord. It's all right. Keenan Allen, he gonna save me. Him and Josh Jacobs gonna have monster days. All right, man. That's the week 14, 1 o'clock run through. We gonna see what happens in those games. All right. Getting to the big game of the week, man. Chiefs versus the Bills. Who needs this win more, and who do you see winning for this matchup? Obviously, the Chiefs sitting at 8-4. They the 3 seed right now. The Bills are in got to win out mode basically from here.
Yep.
So we know the Bills need it more, but I feel like the Chiefs also need a win right now. So who do you feel like needs this win more,
The
and
Ch-
and
yeah,
who you see winning?
the Chiefs, they certainly have struggled of late, but I mean, we can't kid ourselves. The Bills obviously need the game more because the Chiefs are going to win the AFC West pretty much given they don't have a just historic meltdown under the leadership of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So they've locked up a home game in the playoffs. The Bills are fighting to get into the playoffs. Sean McDermott, I feel like, is probably fighting to keep his job, even though he
Yeah,
just got an extension last offseason, which I thought Buffalo made a mistake when they gave it to him. But the Bills obviously need the game. Like you said, they got to win out, and they got the Chiefs this week, Cowboys next week. Still got the Chargers, who could be deadly any given week, even though we haven't really seen them much this year. The Patriots, who they've already lost to, and the Dolphins. So the Bills obviously need the game more, but Kansas City, I think, is going to be hungry. Kansas City is going to be the home team, so I think it's going to be a tough game for them to go in and get. So I do see the Chiefs winning. because they still have a little element of hunger themselves, coming off of that loss, that shocking loss to the Packers, and having lost to the Eagles earlier in the season, and just having lost to Denver earlier in the season. So the way that they've played, I think they got a chip on their shoulder at home, and they're not going to want to drop this game to the Bills. So I see the Chiefs coming out on top.
Mm, got the Chiefs winning. I don't know, man.
It's
I,
tough.
I don't know. I feel like the Bills might get the Chiefs. I feel like it's so much pressure on the Chiefs right now, and like that them receivers, man, and then the defense, they were so good, and everybody been so hyped up by the defense. Now the defense got a lot of pressure on them. Now you see them give up 21 points quick to the Packers, like so. I don't know, man. I don't know. I might have to take Bills on this one. I know
All right.
I've been hating on the Bills all year, but
No, man,
and
that's cool. You Bills Mafia now. That's all good.
no. I will bet the Bengals make the playoffs before the Bills. But speaking of the Chiefs and having some struggles, it looked like they're gonna be taking their playoff show on the road this year. I know you said they're gonna have at least one home game by winning the division, but after that, most likely they'll be on the road unless we have crazy upset or something.
Yep.
And this is gonna be the first time we're gonna see Pat Mahomes in the road playoff game. So I'm interested to see how that's looking right now. You got Dolphins and Ravens at 1 and 2. I feel like you said earlier one of these teams do got to lose another game because they play each other. They
That's
play
right.
no, that's Christmas. They Ravens play
Yeah.
49ers on Christmas. But yeah. So what you think Pat Mahomes gonna look like on the road? I feel like really nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nothing to worry about, but it's intriguing to see just because we've never seen it.
Yeah,
Like that's the one portion of Pat Mahomes' career is that he's been fortunate because he hasn't always been the number one seed, but things have just shaken out to still allow him to continue to play at home week after week. And so I think it's just going to be interesting to see him go into that environment. Obviously, we're less worried about Mahomes, and we're more worried about some of those receivers around him being prepared for those moments. Obviously, we think guys like Kelsey will be fine. Who have been in tough atmospheres before. We think guys like Chris Jones, who will be leading that defense, will be fine. They've all played in tough atmospheres already, and they got 2 Super Bowl rings to show it. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see for sure. I think the team that could use the number one seed the most really is Miami. I think if you could have teams having to come down to you and you don't have to go down to cold weather and have
yeah,
the playoffs come through Miami, I think that'd be a big advantage for them. You talked about that matchup between them and the Ravens, and that'll be December 31st, so New Year's Eve at noon. But leading up to that, this week they got the Titans. Next week they got the Jets. But then after that, to close the season, they got Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. So it's going to be a
yeah,
tough close to the season for them. Me personally, if I was to pick an AFC team right now, I know the Ravens aren't necessarily running away with a game against the Rams right now, but I just like how that team is coming together. Obviously, losing Mark Andrews is big, but we've seen this kid likely kind of step in, and he's made some big plays today, including a long touchdown grab. So it'll be interesting to see how the AFC shakes out. What's amazing is that a lot of the teams that we talked about being in the contest for those top 7 seeds in the AFC, about 8 teams that we talked about, I can tell you one thing: 3 of them were not the Texans, the Colts, and the Browns.
yeah,
Those are teams nobody. I mean, we don't have the Bills up there. We don't have Buffalo up there. Obviously,
yeah,
the Jets losing Aaron Rodgers, we don't have them up there. The Chargers, we don't have them up there. Those
yeah,
are the other 4 teams we thought would be competing for these 3 spots. But we see how that's why they say any given Sunday, man, the NFL is a tricky business sometimes.
yeah. That looks nothing like the predictions that I made at the beginning of the year, except for the other side.
Except for the division winners.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I will say that. Now I have to tip my cap off to myself. I picked all four of those division winners.
Uh, did I? I know I picked Dolphins, Chiefs, Jags, and did I pick the Ravens or the Bengals?
I think I
I,
picked the, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think I picked the Bengals just
I think
because.
I picked the Ravens just because of Burrow's the concern about his health coming into the season.
Yeah. Mhm. All right, Pat. We interested to see show on the road, man. No Arrowhead Invitational. I don't know. They might still get the. They might still get the number one seed. Like they
Oh
could.
yeah, they absolutely could.
Yeah.
A win today will go a long way towards getting it.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. All right. Next, we're going over to the NFC today. Tonight, I believe we got Cowboys versus Eagles. Man, this is a big
Biggest game of the
matchup.
day.
Both teams, where the Eagles coming off a loss, Cowboys streaking. Um, the Eagles won the first matchup. Dak Prescott did play very well, and that Jalen Hurts not so much, but he played clutcher, I would say. Um, Might see more of the same tonight, but really, I want to know who need to win more heading into the postseason. And I just got a feeling the 49ers just they gonna beat both of these teams if they see them again. So is this, yeah, it's a big game, but is it really gonna matter?
So this the big second place game?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like right now,
Man, no, I mean the 49ers healthy can obviously go and do what they have done to two top-notch teams, let alone the drumming that they put on the Jacksonville Jaguars a few weeks back, coming
man.
off of
Right?
that 3 week losing streak. Um, but as far as who needs this game the most, I gotta say the Cowboys, just because I think they're the mentally weaker team. So I think that after going on this streak, which they started after losing to the Eagles in a game which me as an Eagles fan, they played better than the Eagles in that game. They
Mm,
deserved to win that game, but a few just inches here and there, Dak stepping out of bounds, the knee going down right outside of the goal line on that fourth down, have a turnover on
mm,
downs. These just small instances which we've seen year after year come up and bite Dallas when they need them the most. So I think that the way that they've been playing, the way Dak has been balling, the way I believe they're on like a 14 game win streak at home, that if the Eagles coming off of just the demolition against the San Francisco 49ers, if they come in and find a way to win a football game this evening, I think that'll go a long way towards just bringing a lot of those demons back up in the Dallas Cowboys' minds moving forward.
okay. I do feel like they both need a win right here. Obviously, the Cowboys need a win because they lost to these guys already. But it's like as long as they don't get blown out, I feel like the Cowboys will be okay. I feel like the Eagles kind of need a win right now because they've been saying we haven't been playing well the whole season, and they haven't really lost, but they just took a bad loss. And if you go in there and you get smacked up again by the Cowboys, I'm telling you, that's gonna be bad. Maybe not for them, but just for the outside noise.
Yeah,
They
no, without a doubt.
they gonna go crazy over that. So
Do
that's
you
going.
do you think there's any chance that the Eagles could get the better of the Cowboys and really put a whooping on them today?
I'm gonna
Does
say
that reality exist?
I'm gonna say no. I feel like everybody got that as can happen. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna trust the Cowboys for once, which is really not too smart, but they can't let them. That's not gonna happen, bro. Ain't no
Man,
way y'all can go out there after they just got blown out by the people that
it'll
beat
be a
y'all,
bad look.
blow y'all out. Nah,
It'll be a
it's gonna look
bad
like
look.
y'all don't belong, and they at home, right?
Yeah, Cowboys at home tonight.
Yeah, man.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think it could be a close game that goes either way. But if it's gonna be a blowout tonight on Sunday Night Football, I think the Eagles go down there and stomp them.
That's crazy.
I ain't saying it's gonna happen, but I'm saying if there is to be a blowout tonight, I think it's in the Eagles' favor.
Okay. So no blowout for the Cowboys. You don't see that.
I don't see it, especially not the way the Eagles just took that whooping last week, man. I don't think the gumption and the leadership of that team. They might lose today, but I don't think they'll let it get out of hand.
Me neither. But NFL crazy stuff happen. Crazy stuff happen. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys today. I think they hold it down at home. I feel like Dak gonna play good. I feel like this game right here, if Dak could just find a way to just kill, just like he been doing, just put up had the same game you had last time and just win, he'll win MVP. I feel
Nah,
like
yeah, this game could go a long way to him winning the MVP.
if he play good and beat the Eagles, he can win MVP. And if he win MVP, that's gonna be so funny.
If he could deal this week and then deal next week against Buffalo and outdo Josh Allen, yeah, he'll definitely have himself right there as an MVP favorite.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna give it to Brock Purdy. That's
No way. Not even the most valuable guy on his own team.
yeah,
We saw that in the 3-game losing streak. He was playing, Trent Williams and Debo was out, and they couldn't win.
yeah, that's true. But fun fact though, when the 49ers play with everybody healthy, they haven't lost yet.
Because they're the Monstars.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, I think they're like 12-0 now.
But that's the thing about I'm not I think Brock Purdy is a more than competent NFL quarterback. I don't think he's the MVP of the league, but I think he is an above average NFL quarterback who's going to be a starter for the majority of his career. But if they're going to win the Super Bowl, they better go on ahead and win it. Because when contracts come due, you're not going to be able to keep Trent Williams and Debo and Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk and all these guys.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Bosa on defense, Chase Young on defense, all these. You're not going to be able to keep these guys once these contracts come due.
Yeah, they do
And
got
then
a
you got
lot
to
of.
pay Purdy on top of that in a few years.
Now that you say that, let's get to the last topic. Super Bowl. Who needs to win the Super Bowl the most? So obviously, I'm going to go ahead and put the 49ers somewhere in your top three.
I kind of just made the argument for that,
Yeah,
huh? Yeah, no, I think the 49ers are definitely up there.
I
I think
think
I'm
the
going to go with.
Bills. I would say the Bills, and I know that sounds a little weird, but like if you're gonna win the Super Bowl, it's either gonna be right now or in like another 3 years or something. Like, you got to
Yeah,
win.
the reason I'm going to leave the Bills out of mind is just because I just don't see a path.
Mm,
I don't see a path in where they win one. Kind of thinking about this, who needs the Super Bowl the most? Um, okay, I got three teams. I'm going to go with the 49ers for those reasons I just said, is because you got a super team. And if the only reason we look back on this 49ers run is to say that they didn't win a Super Bowl, that's going to be crazy.
yeah,
So I think they're definitely up there. I think the Ravens are up there just because of what's happened to quarterbacks in the AFC. You got Joe Burrow going down. We know Trevor Lawrence is playing this week, but he suffered an injury. You got Aaron Rodgers being out for the season. You got this down year with the Chargers. You got the Bills having a down year. You just got all of this shakeup in the AFC North. Lamar Jackson's the only healthy quarterback. You got Kenny Pickett out, Joe Burrow out, and Deshaun Watson out. And that's a complete 180 from the last couple of years for the Baltimore Ravens when Lamar's been the one getting hurt down the stretch. I think I heard that in the past. Yeah, I heard that this morning. In the past 2 seasons, there's only been one game in the month of December that Lamar Jackson has started and finished. So he's finally healthy. He has the best receiving core that he's ever had. Odell's coming along as the season has progressed. So with this kind of wide open, Kansas City's having a down year this year. So with it kind of being wide open in the AFC, I think that the Ravens are going to have to, if there's a year to get it done, I think it's this year. And then thirdly, and I'll be quick with this one, I gotta say the Philadelphia Eagles. Just coming off of a Super Bowl loss. You don't have forever and ever to go in and try to win a Super Bowl. And I think it'll go a long way for Jalen Hurts for that team. You got some of these older guys that might be looking towards, the next phase of their life after football.
mm,
That man, it's important for them, especially having the start that they did this year. I think it's important for them to try to come back and close the deal this year, and to get Jalen Hurts that first Super Bowl ring.
I like all those picks. Make compelling points. I guess I would say the Eagles probably do need to win the most because the way they lost last year, the way they playing right now is like, why wouldn't y'all win? You
Yep.
know, yeah,
And
like
then you
this.
start to lose some of that mystique of the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Like we've been looking at them the last couple of years, like almost expecting them to win, and you're
Yeah,
going to kind of lose that if you don't close the deal sooner rather than later.
yeah, yeah. I guess I'll have to put the Chiefs in there too, though. But I mean, you got a long time with you, the Chiefs. I feel like next year the Chiefs gonna be good because they gonna pick up another weapon.
Yeah.
They'll be missing a receiver that can actually catch.
It's a crazy statement for an
And they
NFL.
can all catch. Like, don't get me wrong, they
No,
open,
I
but
got you, man.
actually, maybe not because sometimes they do be open and they drop the ball. But like a receiver that's gonna make a tough catch like every time,
Yeah.
like he's not gonna be dropping the ball. That's all they need, and that's easy to find. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I like the way you ranked it. I might put the 49ers over the Ravens too, because I feel like the Ravens could still get better. I feel like the 49ers, this is the best they're gonna be.
Absolutely.
But Brock is young. If he really the guy, then that's a plus. Like you said, the contract's gonna kick in soon, so we're gonna see how that works. Because that's gonna be difficult. You already paid both of those.
Yeah.
I, I think they signed Chase Young. Was it just is he still on his old contract? I think
I'm not
so.
sure.
But his contract coming up soon too. And then you got a lot of people. You got Hafunga on that team. He one of the best safeties in the league. So
Yep.
you have to pass out some money. But the NFL teams are the best at that. Yeah. And speaking on that, just to go ahead and just get some miss the cut topic in. Uh, Speaking of spending a lot of money, Otani 700 million. I mean 700. Yeah, 700 million. For the LA Dodgers. So that's pretty crazy, man.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man.
Dog, let me just throw this stat at you, bro. They said for the Seattle Kraken, the Seattle NHL franchise, for them
Yeah,
to join the league a few years back, it cost their owner $650 million.
damn.
Shohei just got more as one man than it costs to put a whole franchise in the NHL.
That's crazy. I wonder what he's gonna do with the money.
That man almost just made double, bruh. Aaron Judge just broke the AL home run record that had been held for decades. He just got paid almost double of Aaron Judge's contract.
Yeah, but he's Aaron Judge, but also, hey, what's the pitcher name that was so raw, um, when we was growing up?
Who,
Like,
Randy Johnson?
no, like in high school, he was
What are you talking about? Kershaw?
Kershaw was nice. He played for the Dodgers. Nah, he played for the Nationals or something. He had
Oh,
got that.
Strasburg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He,
Strasburg.
he like Strasburg and Aaron Jones, or somebody mixed with somebody that hit all them home runs. That's really crazy, bro.
Bro, this man just did 700 million to stay in the same city he was already living
Yeah, that's pretty great, man.
in.
Must have good fortune.
Man. But then you got the Yankees making that blockbuster deal to go get Juan Soto, man.
Yeah, they did
Add
get
that
one.
big left-handed bat to that short porch over there in Yankee Stadium, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna start getting back into baseball this year coming up because I didn't really pay much attention last year because
Yeah.
then the Diamondbacks win.
The Texans. I'm
Right.
sorry, they're not the Texans. What are they? The
The
Texas Rangers.
Rangers, the Rangers won, but
Texas Rangers.
they played the Diamondbacks.
Yep. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Two teams that nobody saw coming.
yeah.
But
The
man, so
Rangers,
if you could go
the Rangers
from
are George Bush team, man. We don't
yeah,
like Bush around here, man.
and if you could go from Rangers Diamondbacks one year to Yankees Dodgers the next year
That'd be
with
crazy.
Juan Soto and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton on one side and Shohei and Mookie Betts and all of them boys on the other side. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah,
Baseball might be trying to make a comeback.
yeah. Baseball, yeah. Once the playoffs happen, it'd be pretty electric, to be honest. It's just
Without a
got to
doubt.
get through the regular season. That's all.
Without a doubt.
Yeah,
Man, and also missing the cut is your Bengals is putting a whooping right now on Indianapolis.
yes.
Up
Let's make the
28-14.
playoffs, man. Why not? Why we can't still do it, man? Why not, man?
Hey, that's a valid point, man.
We got
It's
Jamar.
crazy.
We still got one of the best receiving cores in the league. One of the best running backs. We got a top 10 defense, top 10-ish defense. You know, we can
And
put.
also the as we speak, the Jets just scored again, 21-6 over the Texans right now.
Ooh,
With
yeah.
9 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
I'm about to lose my fantasy game, bro. Yeah, man. And on that note, we gonna get out of here, man. We appreciate everybody watching, man. Y'all tune in. I'm gonna be back on here tomorrow. He gonna be back on here, man. You know, we gonna keep it going. Make sure y'all check out all the socials, Instagram, TikTok. We need to make a Twitter. Might make a little Twitter. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.